Yet another week of this ball sport. Let's see what this week has in store for us.
That's right.
If you ever need to feel better about yourself, well, this is the game for you. Finally, the Colts played an entire game where I don't have to yell at them for the entire segment, but it's official. Russell Wilson is washed. Although he played the game with an injury, his problems aren't just physical. Like, look at this play. How does Russell Wilson miss this throw? Some would say this game was boring, but I saw the value in watching two incompetent teams repeatedly shoot themselves in the head until one finally fell over dead. Broncos country is in absolute shambles. It's crazy that this team would probably be 4-1 if they had Geno Smith instead of Russell Wilson. Maybe tanking is a real possibility, Broncos, because I don't see any other way out of this mess. A tale as old as time, the Green Bay Packers falling well short of expectations. For the second week in a row, a team loses in a heartbreaking fashion in London as the Packers held a commanding lead at halftime and clearly looked like the better team overall. And I really don't know what happened. It seemed like Aaron Rodgers just got bored and decided to go on autopilot mode for the second half. Daniel Jones once again showed a glimpse of what he could have possibly became, and the Giants took a late lead in the game. Also, apparently Darius Slayton is still in the NFL, so good for him. But it seemed like we all knew what was coming, as Aaron Rodgers made it look so easy going straight into the red zone. Then you remember that Aaron Rodgers, for how good he is still Aaron Rodgers, and leaves every Packers fans with blue balls quite often as two passes get deflected back-to-back, resulting in the New York Giants being 4-1. The Giants? This is not okay. This game was just stinky. The Falcons did nothing on offense for almost the entire game while the Buccaneers did the absolute bare minimum. And to make things even worse as a viewer, the entire game was basically decided by a horrendous roughing the passer call. Like, we've seen some bad roughing calls, but this seriously might be the worst I've ever seen. Luckily, Tom Brady's physique was still intact, and after receiving some urgent medical treatment, he was okay. I'll have you know I was on the edge of my seat that entire time. I was praying on my knees that Tom would be fine. But the Bucs once again continue their never-ending abuse over the Falcons organization and came out with a anticlimactic win.
I don't know what I'm doing!
This is yet another Cleveland Browns game where I just want to see them with a talented, upstanding citizen at quarterback, because without a special quarterback, they just can't compete with the Chargers. Jacoby Brissett was able to be a very effective asset at handing the ball off to his all-pro running back and punter, which kept it close. But this game should have been over way quicker if it weren't for this double agent doing everything he can to throw the game. Remember when Brandon Staley was praised for his analytically driven calls? Now he seemingly just looks at every fourth down as a chance to pull the trigger, and some of these decisions have zero logic behind them. Someone please tell me in what world would you ever go for it here? Luckily for the Chargers, Cade York also has money on this game, so you escape with your lives. For a team this talented, you need to just obliterate every team that isn't a real contender, and you're just not.
Uh-oh.
Leave it to the goddamn Patriots to take all the fun out of the Lions. Belichick basically looked at his scouting report and said, "Oh, Jared Goff? Cool." Bottom of the line, Goff can't do anything against the Patriots, and Bailey Zappi was competent enough to win, I guess, so both these teams aren't going anywhere anyway, so who really cares? The Titans and the Commanders squared off in the duel of mid. Derrick Henry somehow continues to defy every statistic about the running back's longevity and pillaged Washington's elite defense all day long. Meanwhile, Washington did almost nothing on offense besides two fluky plays which kept the game relatively close. And although they got outplayed on just about every level, they somehow got a good drive going at the end and had a prime chance to win it all, and they threw a pick. So although the final score may have made the game look like it was entertaining, it really wasn't all that. And also, for what it's worth, it may not look like it now, Washington, but this loss might be a blessing in disguise. Good luck in April. Damn it, Jags, I was really about to consider you a solid NFL team, and then you go out and lose to the Texans. This win only hurts the Texans, and also hurts the culture of the Jaguars. Let's just move on from this game and pretend like it never happened.
Yes, sir.
Throughout this entire game, it really felt like the Vikings were just dominating in all facets possible. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and Kirk Cousins were all in the zone, but somehow the Bears hung around in this game. Maybe this is what better coaching can lead to, but luckily for the Vikings, that small scare of Chicago was removed and the Vikings still got the win. I would like real Super Bowl contenders to close out these teams quicker, but I guess you still have time to improve, Minnesota.
I say right foot.
Mutilation. That's it. If there were any doubts about the Bills before this game, then they were all erased instantly. Also, Kenny Pickett just got fed to the Wolves in this game, so let's give him another week to evaluate his talent. Also, Josh Allen is him. Well, the Blood Gods still demanded another sacrifice to pay for what they did to Tua last week and claimed Teddy Bridgewater's soul early in the game. So once the Dolphins starting quarterback got eliminated, it was pretty much over on the spot. One of these days, the Jets are going to have to pay for benching Joe Flacco, but apparently that day isn't today. Boring blowout, though. Geno Smith is officially a good quarterback. I can't believe it. Although the Seahawks did lose the game, if you told me that Russell Wilson was playing quarterback for the Seahawks, I would believe you if I didn't watch it. And the Saints seem to be able to stay afloat dealing with so many injuries. They literally didn't have their entire wide receiver core or their starting quarterback, and they still left with a win. And unfortunately, Taysom Hill is just simply too powerful, as the Mormon Miracle drops 4 tutties on Seattle. Tough loss, but entertainment was still gained for me at least. Mutilation. Again. The Panthers are so depressing to watch, and even after getting hit with the Black Death, the 49ers are still a consistent, well-oiled machine. Once they get fully healthy, I'm not sure any team in the league can beat them, so I guess just hope the injuries keep piling up for everyone else.
Damn, boy!
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but the Eagles are still undefeated. This game could have been over way earlier, but the Eagles took their foot off the gas for a second and let the Cardinals climb back in the game. Kyler Murray must have a fetish for being behind, because once the odds are against him, his trump card gets activated and his full short power emerges. And after continuing to put the team on his back, Kyler led the Cardinals for a chance at a game-tying field goal. But hold on, because everyone's favorite bath salt sniffing kicker wasn't here today, so the backup kicker came in and shanked it. It's been a bumpy road, Arizona, and it's not getting any smoother in the future. Well, the Cowboys' defense is for real. Every time Stafford snapped the ball, he either instantly started running to continue his miserable existence, or he just went into a protection position and accepted defeat. There's a chance that the Rams have the best player in the league on offense and defense, and they're still just not a good team. At this point in time, I'd hit the panic alarm, Rams. There's a ton of smoke and a fire might be coming soon. This was a game that involved some of the biggest stars in the entire NFL, and the goddamn kicker stole the show. And it was brilliant. Most of the first half was really slow, and the game quickly became a chess match, and whoever made the first mistake would be punished. And although Lamar really didn't look like himself, Burrow and his paper-thin O-line were really struggling, which gave the Ravens the opening to slowly sentence them to death by Tucker. Important win for the Ravens, but it really looks like both Super Bowl teams from last year might be in a lot of trouble. This game was a vintage Raiders performance. They flashed what they could possibly become, as everything was going perfectly according to the game script early. Then, without failure, once they get a comfortable lead, it all falls apart. After giving up 4 touchdowns to Travis Kelce, just before it all ends, they tease you a little bit with some hope, then they pull out a 12-gauge shotgun and point it straight at their skull. This 2-point conversion call made no sense at all, and just to put the cherry on top of this awful Sunday, you lose the game in the most embarrassing way possible by having your 2 best receivers slam into each other. The Raiders just keep one-upping themselves, and I don't know how they do it. But anyways, if you like this video, then like and comment, because it really helps the channel a lot. And you can even subscribe if you like this video, because I got a lot of more videos just like this one on the channel. And if you like this one, then you might like this video right here on the worst injuries that ended NFL superstar careers. It's really good, trust me. Anyways, until next time.